Before a majority of you skip ahead to the reaction, please just listen to me real quick. We gotta have a talk. Let's have a talk, okay? I'll make this short and sweet. I hate movies. I do not like movies at all. I've made this very known before on the channel. I'm making it known once again here. There's a thing in my brain that does not click, that does not allow me to sit down and really consume things for as long as they are, that also make me really dislike them because I struggle to remember a lot of the stuff that happened at the beginning because I'm so focused on the things that are happening now and how all that stuff relates. It's a weird thing with me, right? Okay. If for whatever reason I have no clue what's going on and I'm getting lost, which I've been warned is, a thing that likely is going to occur throughout this, I'm going to try my best. I'm going to give you everything I got to finish out this series. I'm going to give everything I have. But I need you to understand if I'm like saying some stupid shit or I'm like low energy at certain points and just doing what I gotta do. If the discussion at the end isn't up to standards of what you might want it to be, I'm just doing what I can do. It is what it is. I want to lay that out there. I want to lay that out there. Okay, now here we are. Rebellion movie. What is this even about? I don't know. I have no clue where we are in the universe of what we're doing within this series. If I made an assumption, if I could, the Wraiths have arisen, I'd make the guess that we're going to continue a world involving them that likely has something flare up along the way that involves our characters, or we face a new challenge that forces us to rewrite something that essentially makes Madoka's sacrifice look kind of trash and ruin what that whole thing was. She's in the title. She's not going to not be in this. You know what I mean? I'm going to assume it's something along those lines, and we kind of follow through whatever path we need to correct the new enemy in which that has arisen through the sacrifice that she made. And then from there, probably encounter a bunch of problems that come along with it, or they introduce a bunch of new things that will be relevant within the movie that comes after this. I'm gonna just hope and pray that the movie as an entirety is a movie as an entirety and doesn't really like set things up for the future. I mean, it might have to, but like, you know what I'm trying to say, like doesn't like cliffhanger us or just introduce random things at the end to introduce random things at the end that might be relevant in a movie that's going to come out 12 years after that. You know what I mean? Like, that don't really make too much sense to me, so I'm just kind of hoping that's not the route they go. I do wonder, maybe we play around with potentially somebody like Homura, seeing if there's something that she can do to bring back and go back on the promise and the things in which Madoka ended up making, not the promise, but the sacrifice and things she made, or maybe she discovers something that can somehow materialize an actual being more than like this general idea of a thing. I don't know. There's guesses, but as I was saying before, I do hate movies. So sitting down for 2 hours here is going to be a hard one for me. People will always recommend take a break between, do this, do whatever. They're intended for you to sit down for 2 hours and watch it. I'm gonna sit down for 2 hours and watch it, and we're not gonna take a break. Okay, we're just gonna do it how it's supposed to be done. I'm gonna regret it, right? I'm gonna wish I paused and I talked about things a lot. I will yap a lot probably throughout this. I probably will pause and go back on certain things because I'm not gonna be able to keep up with the lines and stuff, the standard stuff we do throughout an anime anyways. All of it'll get edited in a way that you're not going to know, we just we'll do what we gotta do. We'll do what we gotta do. Also, I don't want this to come off like I'm not excited for it. I definitely am. More content and being able to finish this out, of course, but it's the idea that I'm gonna have to do this and it's gonna be like a 3-hour recording on top of the fact that I'm going to have a editing that's then going to have to render, and it's going to be a while. So I'll let this know. I'm recording this on the 5th. I took a little over a week. So what, 2 weeks, maybe almost 2 weeks, week and a half, something like that, since the finale. I watched it. And just to kind of let the rest kind of sit with me a bit. If this is not up on the Monday, I would like it up on the Monday. If this is not up on the next day, if this is not up on the 6th, it's just because it took too long. It took too long. So I'm going to edit the hell out of it, but we might end up waiting and you guys might get it on like the Wednesday or the Friday or something. I might just have to maneuver a bunch of things to get that done in the times I do. Cause you already know I'm going to edit it and then it's going to get copywritten and then we're gonna have to deal with that, and I'm gonna have to go back and, and redo it. And then the render of a 2 hour episode is gonna take forever, anyways. You know, like we're gonna have a lot of problems. So I'm just laying it all out there for you. I don't really know what else I have to say. I kind of just want to get into this. It's already very late at night for me, and I got another 3 hours to go. Why did I do this? Why did I do this? I don't know. I hope you guys enjoy. If you like, hit the like and subscribe to watch me. Feel free to stick around for the discussion. Leave any comments with this episode or series. The new series that we're starting will be up after this. The poll's kind of done. I mean, it's up. You can vote on it. It's not going to matter. The winner already won. But yeah, that'll be up after we're done with this. Probably maybe a week after, or half a week. I don't know. I'm working on a schedule idea of what I'm planning to do, and we'll coordinate that afterwards. Hopefully, like I said, you enjoy. Let's get going with the Rebellion movie. Saviors. この世界から消え去ることで絶望の因果から下脱する。いつか訪れる終末の日。円環の断りの導きを待ちながら私たちは戦い続ける。We're gonna break the cycle is always the question. 憎しみばかりを繰り返すこの救いようのない世界であの懐かしい笑顔と再び巡り合うことを夢見て。She visit her in her dreams. What do you mean? More so, I would like to coordinate something to return her. Having the time of her life here. My turn. Wow. At least they made more use of having you have this damn outfit, right? Inside of a couple minutes. I asked me and my friends saving the world. Right. Where we started it all. Alright, already confused. She has the thing on her finger, though. Those are the ones who complain the most, if we're being completely honest. They're all trash. They're all scum. Yeah, well you ain't no prize yourself. So it's same in what sense? Everything follows the same, but Cubase here, you have the ring, you have the marking. So is this like pre-Homura involvement? But I don't understand why that would be a movie, so I don't know. Is this perfect world if you continue to live after the fact? Oh, she's on her knees. I was like, why does she shrink? Thank you for the close-up. We really needed this. Alright, so Kyoko's here. Way different earlier. Wasn't that the worst? When you got called on for something that you'd know you've heard fact you didn't read and had no clue what you were talking about. Or they're facing death or studying. Ugh. I have zero clue where you're at right now. What are we even learning about? Like, what class even is this? Right, okay. You might need to go to the nurse. Madoka, take her to the nurse, please. Look who's transferred, Miss Homura. She gonna have a different persona than usual. And she's got the... Oh. So are we referencing before? Okay. You gotta be fucking kidding me. Hunting the nightmare. Like the same one the teacher's talking about. Maybe the nightmares are just the new witches. My queen. Yeah, weird, huh? Wonder why. Who? Who? Oh. Are you gonna be relevant? Or are we just stirring up some background drama for you? Long ass pause. So he's already healed. I don't think he fucks with you. Bro awkwardly laughed it off like, oh, right. So icked out, right? He is not feeling you. Just give up. That's when I love him the most. All the despair, the flaring up. Are you like the opposing end? You're like the others? Or do you just work for a different company than us? She turns into cheese? Yeah, I understand. The squad assemble. I thought her whole head came off of her there. They went budget, transformations, nothing else. They're like the character intros if you unlock them in a game or something. Ah. We got a group name and everything. Aren't you guys just wonderful together? many deaths do you think we're gonna get this movie? That'd be a great way to kickstart this, right? What is that thing? Like don't get it. We won the victory cake. What the fuck is happening? Well, so are the cheese. Nope. No. Definitely not me. She's new to this guy. Then who the fuck is it? You're the melon. Huh. Oh. Oh, we found her. You get what you love the most, right? Saika doing it too is funny. Oh, we're sparkly now. Does that mean we're good? Peacefully returns. Alright. Time to go study up for tomorrow. The city we saved lives to see another day. No. No. To answer your question, no. No faces. Except for her. Or those important to you, potentially. Those relevant within the plot do not deserve face. You're gonna feed her. L girlfriend. You're like not supposed to be here. Yeah, that's not adding up. Something in the timeline's got a little fucked up. Huh. Now that you think about it, I can't remember either. Irrelevant, don't know. Next question. Where did you meet her? All these blimps are making me think of... You ever play balloons? Just rolling it in right now. I don't believe it's even a place. I feel like it might not be there. Or what if it's just there? There's nothing else, it's just the ramen place. It's an insane bridge, dude. Why does it go all the way up there? Huh. Was it always this red? We're just kind of in a void. And everything's normal again. We reached a normal destination. Do not enter back in there, though.
風見の駅行きに乗っただろ。次のバスで引き返しましょう。今度こそ間違えないように。
Huh, it happened again.
これで間違いないよな。
Nice to know even without the existence, the bus still operates, you know? It's always a wonderful thing. I hate when my town just goes up and missing, but there's no way to get on the bus, you know? It's just not even a dude, yeah. It's a robot. Don't stand in the way, he's not gonna be able to stop. I hate to be that guy, but I don't think you're getting there. Yeah, just don't tell anybody that everything else has disappeared. Yeah, I know what's going on, but I won't tell any of you. Well, I would like to know. The moment you start getting suspicious, they get on you.
こんな強気な明美ホムラは初めて見るはずなのに、全然意外って気がしねえ。むしろしっくりくるぐらいだ。
Alright, time to lock it.
そう、私はこの手口を知っている。閉ざされた幻の空間、獲物を誘い込んで惑わすための出口のない迷路。
It's that goofy new thing that they introduced, for sure.
間違いない。ここは魔女の結界だ。
How did you arise? Where did you come from?
そして
Hall of
絶望に
Memories.
沈んだ魔法少女たちが最後になり果てる呪われた姿なのに、私たちは忘れている。いや、忘れさせられていたのだ。誰かが私たちの記憶を欺き陥れようとしている。
What if they're just putting them into you?
三滝原の町で
初めてマミさんと会った時もベベと一緒でしたよね。
Yeah, weird.
ええ、ベベは昔からの友達だもの。
Your friend, alright.
出会ったのはもうずいぶん前。かなめさんやミキさんよりも付き合いは長いのよ。どうしてベベがともえさんのところに来たか覚えてますか？
Nah, just as far back as I can think. Yeah, I'm looking at you. Curious. You're not actually on to me, are you?
今はこんなに頼れる仲間に囲まれてるんですもの。もう昔みたいに背伸びして頑張る必要もなくなったの。
It's a wonderful thing.
こうら
ナイトメアも強くなってきたけど、その分魔法少女も増えて前より安心して戦えるようになりました。
What if just defeating them is like strengthening this being that's becoming this witch?
ナイトメア退治は遊びじゃないのよ。
This is our job. And jobs aren't fun.
ともえさん、お茶のおかわりいただけますか？あら。
I have to discuss things when you're not around.
ちょっと待ってね。まどか。
I'll freeze that shit. Hold up. Just gotta leave or you gotta attack it. Yo, you bitch. You don't belong here. Throw it out the window.
くらいで終わらせましょう。私はあなたの正体を覚えてる。思い出したの。あなたがかつて何者だったのか。みんなの記憶を捏造し、偽りの三滝原の結界に閉じ込める。 こんな芸当ができるのはベベ、あなたしかいない。
I'm gonna throw you out as bitch.
記憶って厄介なものね。一つ取り戻すと次から次へと余計な思い出がついてくる。
If nobody else can recall or remember those, makes you feel like you're fucking insane. What the fuck I do?
こんな回りくどい手口を使って一体何が目的なの？
Ooh.
これ以上ベベがいじめられるのを黙って見ているわけにもいかないわ。
We're working together now, aren't we, Mom? Yeah, alright.
どういうことか説明してくれる？その子が何をしたっていうの？あなたはベベに騙されている。ここは本当の三滝原じゃないわ。
Who do you think the one who came up with all this was?
ベベ、逃げて。
It's kind of hard to win these things against a time traveler.
そいつを守るつもり。追いかけようなんて思わないで。サモナイと私と戦う羽目になる。
Ooh, so scary, Mommy. Like you weren't the first one to fucking die out of all. It's all fun and games until this is just a big misunderstanding and nobody actually has any clue what's going on. Let it fly.
でも同じ条件で私に勝てる。コンクールなら負けないわ。
I've been through this a lot. Oh shit, she took out the MG. Yeah, they're either the best evaders I've ever seen or the worst shots, and I can't tell which one. Here, wait till this shit get unfrozen. Where the fuck are you gonna go? There we go. Now you have to be the best evader ever.
ほら、ラッチが開かないわよ。
So we go again. Let me just pull another one out. Okay. Umbrella shooting a hole through herself is one of the last things I think I expected. Keep her alive. We're gonna get a giant fucking baby.
あなたの魔法は確かにすごいけど、いつだって相手より優位な立場にいると思い込むのが禁物よ。どうしてベベを襲ったりしたの？
Because I suspect that thing behind it.
私たち魔法少女の敵なのよ。思い出して。魔女なんて知らないわ。私たちの敵は魔獣でしょ。
The what?
そう、私はずっと魔獣たちと戦ってきた。じゃあ、ナイトメア。
Yeah, where the fuck these things come from?
それは私の口から説明するのです。
Now you want to speak normal. Wait, who the fuck are you? You're so cute.
あなたは
ベベ。
Yeah,
今まで黙っていてごめんなさい。
it's okay.
でも落ち着いて話を聞いてほしいのです。
You have my full attention. Here come the team.
マミさん相手に真っ向から喧
Thanks for just getting interested. Why'd you interrupt?
巴真美との衝突は仕方なかった。私が狙ったのは彼女じゃなくてベベでしょ。あの子が昔魔女だったってだけで標的にするなんて先走るにも程があるよ。あなた覚えてる？深い結界を張った魔女が他の人間を襲って殺したりもせず、ただ私たちを閉じ込めただけで、あとは何もしないなんて。
Well, I mean, it grows you more,
あんたが覚えて
but
るお菓子の魔女はそんな奇妙なことやるやつじゃなかったでしょ。この状況を望んだ誰かが私たちの中にいると。
well, the magical girls themselves benefit from it, so yeah.
魔法少女が行き着く果ての姿。そうね、その可能性はあり得るわ。
I mean, we could play into Madoka being consumed and things not properly working, but that doesn't really make much sense. Because we were visibly there for, like, everything.
そんなのは当然始末するの？ただ魔女だからって理由で何がいい？
But that's your friend.
誰とも争わずみんなで力を合わせて生きていく。それを祈った心は裁かれなきゃならないほど罪深いものなの？あなた魔女の肩を持つ巴真美が思い出した記憶は魔女ではなく魔獣との戦い。さくら京子が魔女の結界という可能性を推理しなかったのも
But you get.
魔女のことを忘れてたからじゃない。二人は魔女なんて存在は知らないんだわ。そうなるようにあの子が世界を作り変えた。彼女自身を犠牲にしてね。そっか、あんたは覚えてるんだっけね。そうよ、覚えているのはただ一人。
Right, right.
私
So,
だけだったはず。
why are you aware?
ここにはそもそもありえないはずの存在が3ついる。一つはこの結界を作った魔女。
And you were also the one who disappeared, so, like, why are you here?
そして最後は魔女のことを知っているあなた。あなたは何者？本当に三木さやかの逃げ足が速すぎるわね。もっと不器用な子だったはずよあなた。あんただって私の質問に答えてないよ。この御嶽原を壊して本当に構わないのか、じっくりと考えてから決めるんだね。悔いを残さないように。
There's definitely reasons I'm not understanding, because to me that's a really simple answer. Like, it's not as complex as they're framing it to be. So I'm definitely, like, missing something, because there has to be a reason why. Because even if this is, like, an idealized version, it's still the creation of something that wasn't intended or wished for, you know? And to respect that decision of the one who had to sacrifice themselves, you have to kind of make that decision on your own to get rid of it, right? Like, that makes sense to me.
みんなを巻き添えにしてこんなありえない世界に逃げ込んだ者がいる。魔獣と戦う使命に背を向けて。
But yeah, because I mean, why Madoka's here also makes no sense to me either.
魔法少女は戦い続けなければならない。それが奇跡を願った対価。そんな私たち
Part of the contract.
あの子は身を挺して救おうとしてくれた。こんな茶番劇、
Oh, the
犠
Titanic.
牲を無駄にしているだけよ。許せない。
Right, that's exactly what I thought. Boo, L decision. Hey. Oh no, you got blood on you. I feel like Yume's still got, like, things going on with him that we're not aware of.
一体何があったの？
私ね、とても怖い夢を見たの。
I might be in it still.
あなたがもう二度と会えないほど
Oh, that one, that one.
なのに世界中の誰もかもがそのことを忘れちゃって。
So are they saying that you're the one who dreamt of this?
まどかの思い出は私が勝手に作り出
Right, you start going crazy, so you make up your own version of a place that she's there and everything's back to normal and accepted and perfect. But that can't really be.
私だけが誰にも会えなくなるほど遠くに一人で行っちゃうなんて、そんなことありっこないよ。私だよ。ホムラちゃんでさえ泣いちゃうような辛いこと、私が我慢できるわけないじゃない。
あなたにとってもそれは我慢できないほど辛いこと。
誰とだってお別れなんてしたくない。もし他にどうしようもない時だったとしても、そんな勇気私にはないよ。
Do you have a realization yet?
そうだったのね。それがあなたの本当の気持ちなら、私なんてバカな間違いを出ちゃいけなかったんだ。あの時私はどんな手を使ってでもあなたを止めなきゃいけなかった。どれほど辛いことだと分かっていても、それを選択できてしまう勇気があるの。あなたがあなたにしかできないことがあると知った時、あなたは自分でも気づいていないほど優しすぎて強すぎる。あなたは本当のまどかだわ。こんな風に一緒に話ができて、もう一度また優しくしてくれて。
All the hope. It's all the hope I needed to continue going.
ありがとう。それだけで十分に私は幸せだった。だろ、小村ちゃん。ぎゅー
You just don't talk anymore?
要まどかは。はあ？彼女のこと覚えてる？
当たり前だろ。何よ。おい、まさか。
ええ。あなたが彼女のことを知ってるはずがない。
Hmm.
その記憶は偽物よ。
Well, I mean, she's kind of here.
少し考えれば分かったはずなのに。まどかがいる世界を捏造できるとしたら、それはまどかのことを知っている者だけ。
The only one's you.
これで分かったわ。私たち全員の記憶を書き換え、偽りの三滝原に閉じ込めた張本人が誰なのか。
You, Cubey.
大丈夫か？私の体が動くとしたら、せいぜい100メートルが限度のはず。
It's really cool how they're doing the ground there. A lot of the scenes or scenery within all these has been really cool. No, not the loop line. No. It was so cool. Destruction of the fake city. No. But it was also perfect. Is that a Christmas tree? That's sick.
魔法少女でさえないってわけ。どうしてよ。
How did this become? How did I turn to one?
どうして私がこんな。
I actually have no idea.
一体いつの間に私は魔女になってたの。
I don't even know if I can make a guess on that. I actually have no clue. This motherfucker. You gonna talk now?
真実なんて知
There
り
we
た
go.
くもないはずなのに、答えにたどり着くだろうとは思っていたよ。
Right, if it was one of the others, probably not.
インキュベーター。
君の命と魂が今どこにあるのかだよね。その答えは
Under one condition.
これがこの偽物の三滝原市の外側。現実世界の君の姿だよ。すでに限界まで濁りきっていたソウルジェムを外からの影響力が一切及ばない環境に閉じ込めたとき、何が起こるのか。
We're just kind of testing things out, right?
君たちが連環の断りと呼んでいる現象から隔離されたとき、ソウルジェムはどうなるのか。確かに興味深い結果を観察させてもらったよ。
It's like a brain study.
独自の法則に支配された閉鎖空間の形成と外部の犠牲者の誘導、捕獲にが説明してくれた魔女とやらの能力そのものだよね。
Thank you so much for that. Okay, that makes sense though.
遮断フィールドに保護されたソウルジェムがまだ砕けていない以上、
君は完全な形で魔女に変化できたわけでもない。
You're almost
卵を割る
perfected.
ことができなかったヒナが殻の中で成長してしまったようなものだね。
But it's still
だか
just
ら
stuck
君
in
は
it.
自らの内側に結界を作り出すことになった。
Just entrapped.
まさか町一つを丸ごと模倣して再現。
That's all about.
ここはね、君のソウルジェムの中にある世界なんだよ。
Shit looks tough. Big ass chair.
その内側からの誘導で犠牲者を連れ込むことはできる。魔女としての君
Oh.
が無意識のうちに求めた標的だけが君が作った結界には現実世界にはすでに存在しないキャラクターが
Right, right.
奇妙な形で参加している。
Especially the one that you're really
とり
in
わ
love
け興
with.
味深いのは過去の記憶にも未来の可能性にも存在しない一人の少女だ。最初から探す必要さえなかったんだ。手間を省いてくれたのは君自身なんだよ、明美穂村
So even through the things you don't understand.
と要まどかという名前で呼んでいたからね。
Yeah.
じゃああの子はやっぱり
彼女は君を救済するという目的だけでなく自分自身の力と正体さえ見失っていたようだ。
That's actually insane.
これでは手の出しようがない。
You're just like not remembering you're a god. Like,
要まどかは神であることを忘れ
wow.
明美穂村は魔女であることを忘れ、おかげで僕らはこんな無意味な堂々巡りに付き合わされることになった。
Just
まあ
completely
気ままに待つ
pointless.
つもりでいたけれど、君が真相にたどり着いたことでようやく均衡も崩れるだろう。
Thank you for the
明
experiment.
美穂村、まどかに助けを求めるといい。それで彼女も思い出す、自分が何者なのか。
で理不尽だって言ってたくせにまどかの存在をただ確認するためにこんな大げさな段取りまで用意するわけがない。
Well, the thing is, we still need energy.
まどか
And
支配するつもりね。
yeah, in a way. I mean, you did propose that there would be like a thing or a being and like other people. Like we just kind of figured out how we can, confirm this and use it.
僕の謎だった。存在すら確認できないものは手の出しようがないからね。
Yeah, so once you confirm it, then you utilize. Simple.
じゃないわ。
そうだね。観測さえできれば干渉できる。干渉できるなら
Right, natural order of operations.
それ僕
Yeah.
たちの研究は連環の断りを完全に克服するだろう。そうなれ
We
ば
might.
魔法少女は
And we've been back to square one. All right. Thank you for the idea.
希望と絶望の総定に、その感情から変換されるエネルギーの総量は予想以上のものだったよ。やっぱり魔法少女は無限の可能性を秘めている。君たち
It all
は
leads
魔
back to
女を
the-
変化することでその存在を全うするべきだ。
Once again, what your purpose
な
for
ぜ
it
起こ
is.
るんだい。君にはもう関わり
She
の
did
ない
all
話だ。
this just for it to come
君
back to
ホムラ
this.
の存在は完結した。君は過酷だった運命の果てに待ち望んでいた存在と再会の約束を果たす。これは幸福なことなんだろう。
And we do this without the ability of a wish or anything to be granted.
まどかの秘密が暴かれるくらいなら私はこのまま魔女になってやる。もう二度とインキュベーターにあの子は触らせない。
君はそんな理由で救済を拒むのかい。
I think she would.
何を意味するのか分かっているのかい。殻を破ることすら拒んで卵の中で魔女として完成してしまったら
Right,
君は
in the cycle.
連環の断りに感知されることすらなく破滅する。もう誰も君の魂を絶望から救えない。君は再び要まどかと巡り合うチャンスを永久に失うんだよ。
Better than you using her.
黙りなさ
まったくどうして人間の思考はこうも理不尽なんだい。
Why are they so driven by emotion?
これが私の絶望まで迎えに
ありがとう。
最後にお別れを言えなくてごめんね。
Ooh. Curtains rise.
あれが魔女。
怖がらないでやって。ああ見えて一番辛いのはあいつ自身なんだ。笑えねえな。
待ってくれ。あれは明美ホムラなんだ。君たちは仲間と戦う気かい？
The same question.
あんた普通に喋れた。
君ならホムラを救えるはずだ。
Tell me, let me push you a little
本
bit.
当の力に気づきさえすれば。
As somebody who doesn't believe in themselves, though, like how do you recognize
さ
that?
っき私が教えた通りにやればいい。
Huh? Oh yeah, recognizing yourself as a being. All right, hello.
そうってわけじゃない。問いを振りまいた者たち。そして今は円環に導かれ、この世の因果を外れた。
Ah.
で立ち回れると思ったのさ。インキュベーター。窓から
Shit kind of worked on me.
まんまと引っかかってくれたわね。記憶と力を誰かが運んであげなきゃならなかったからね。
Ah.
確かさやかかどっちか無事な方が預かっていた本当の記憶をまどかに返す手はずだったのです。ホムラ一人を迎えに行くのに3人がかりなんてね。
How much she fucking cares about her? Damn.
まああいつのためなら仕方ないか。ここまで頑張ってきたやつにはそれなりのご褒美があっていいもんね。
That's sweet.
さやか
Sorry guys, still don't understand what's going on. These motherfuckers went to war and put up all that bullshit. Put us through all of that.
やめて、もうやめて。私はこの世界で死ななきゃならないの。
No, they got a plan. They got a plan.
するなっての。
Friendship. It's funny too how they all acted like weirdly suspicious in like some sort of way, or gave out like sort of hints in different ways, but they were all very different.
あんたが死んじまう夢を。でも本当はそっちが現実で、今こうして2人で戦ってるのが夢だって、そういうことなのか。
Unfortunately for you.
夢っていうほど悲しいものじゃない。
Hmm.
あれやっぱり私心残りだったんだろうね。
Not being closer with you. Oh,
それにしちゃったことが。
that is true.
渚はもう一度チーズが食べたかっただけな。
That's a great reason to come back. True though, yeah. If we coast along through this and we don't run into any problems, which we probably will, this is the friendship ending I was, I think, more so expecting of the this series.
イロ、イナーレ。インキュベーターの封印なのです。あれを壊せばあんたは自由になれるんだ、ホムラ。インキュベーターの干渉を受けないまま外の世界で本当のマドカに会える。
だよ、ホムラちゃん。一人ぼっちにならないでって言ったじゃない。
マドカ。
何があっても、ホムラちゃんはホムラちゃんだよ。
Open the window for
私
it.
は絶対に見捨てたりしない。だから諦めないで。あなたと会いたいってその気持ちを裏切るくらいなら。
そうだ、私はどんな罪だって背負える。
Aww.
要マドカ。ええ。いつか私たちを導く円環の断り。
created a beautiful path for you to ascend up. Oh my god.
私はホムラちゃんのためにこんな大事なこと忘れてたなんて、今日までずっと頑張ってきたんだよね。
まどか
All for a chance to be with you.
行こう。これからはずっと一緒だよ。
You will.
ええ、そうね。この時を待ってた。
ホムラちゃん。
やっと捕まえた。おい、何よこれ。明美さん、ソウルジェムが呪いよりもおぞましい色に。何なのあれ。欲望、執念。
Just some other emotion.
理解できないのも当然よ。ええ、誰にわかるはずもない。
So I'm good for not getting it. Alright.
だけのもの、まどかのためだけのもの。
I created an emotion solely that nobody else can.
言ったはずよ、まどか。もう二度とあなたを離さない。
You didn't have to. You didn't. Holy fuck. So much for the display Madoka put on at the end of the series.
君は何に干渉しているんだ。何を改ざんしてしまったんだ。信じられない。呪いに染まったソウルジェムが消え去るはずの君の魂がなぜ。
思い出したのよ。今日まで何度も繰り返して傷つき苦しんできたすべてが
Just an overwhelming.
だからこそ今はもう痛みさえ愛おしい。 私のソウルジェムを濁らせたのはもはや呪いでさえなかった。
それじゃあ一体。
あなたには理解できるはずもないわね。インキュベーター。
Because it's just an emotion.
これこそが人間の感情の極み。希望よりも熱く絶望よりも深いもの。
Love.
愛よ。
Yeah. like a very dangerous, toxic one.
見つこうとしてるんだ。
そうね。確かに今の私は魔女ですらない。
That
あの神にも等しく聖なるものを落とし
like
め
a
て
like a
むしろれ
devil.
てしまったんだもの。そんな真似ができる存在はもう悪魔とでも呼ぶしかない
Oh,
んじゃ
demon.
ない
Alright.
これではっきりした。君たち人類の感情は利用するには危険。
Yeah, y'all fucking crazy. Think I lives alone that way.
私たちの世界に湧いた呪いを処理するにはこれからもあなたたちの存在が必要なの。協力してもらうわよ。
I get it, but like I kind of wish he's just gone. These were probably really fun to make. They're so pretty. It's just an observer. See that weird creature run away a little bit earlier too? I don't know what the fuck that was about.
円環の断りの一部をもぎ取っていったんだ。魔法少女の希望だった救済の力を。
私が奪ったのは
Yeah, the piece that I want.
なる前の人としての彼女の記録だけ。どうやらあなたたちまで巻き添えになって元の居場所に帰れなくなってしまったようだけれ。
Sorry that happened, but like I don't care.
今の私は魔なる者、摂理を乱しこの世界を蹂躙する存在。神の断りに抗うのは当然のことでしょ。
あんたはこの宇宙を
No, 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 no.
壊すつもりなの。
すべての魔獣が滅んだ後は それもいいかも。
Oh, okay. I read you
そ
wrong
の
though.
時は改めてあなたたちの敵になってあげる。でもミキさやか、あなたは私に立ち向かえるの？今でも徐々に記憶は変わりつつあるでしょ。
Oh. I don't, it's not looking pretty.
再び人間としての人生を取り戻せたことを喜べばいいんじゃないかしら。いずれは何が起こったのかも忘れて違和感すら感じなくなるわ。
So everything just keeps getting worse and worse and worse around you.
明美穂村、あんたが悪魔だってことは。
Thank
せ
you.
めて普段は仲良くしましょうね。あまり喧嘩をしているとあの子にまで嫌われるわよ。おはよう。
おはようございます。
Yeah, just getting back to your normal day to day after that.
今日は皆さんに転校生を紹介します。かなめさん、いらっしゃい。
So an opportunity. Yeah.
かなめまどかです。
一度に質問されすぎて
Yeah, let me take her to the nurse real quick.
少しは遠慮しないと。
I'm the class officer, by the way. Let me get her.
私は明美穂村。はじめまして、要まどかさん。
For the first time. For the first
まど
time.
かって呼んでも
I feel like we're close enough. Right. Hit her with it.
早速だけど校内を案内してあげるわ。
I know my way.
あけみさん、
穂村でいいわ。
どうして私を？
Part of the job. Part of the job.
どう？
なんだか懐かしいような。
Good, good, good. That's what we
なんか違う
want.
なっていうか、
Right,
ちょ
right.
っと変な気分。何も変わってないような気もするの。むしろ変わっちゃったのはどっちかっていうと私のような。そう、私にはもっと違う姿。
Why do you know that? Why do you know that?
それがどうして？
So we're going to war. Oh.
本村ちゃん、ねえ、ちょっと。
要まどか、あなたはこの世界が尊いと思う。欲望よりも秩序を大切にしてる。
I don't consider any of that. I only care for you, so this is for you. The
私は
ribbons, no.
尊いと思う。
私の敵になるかもね。でも構わない。それでも私はあなたが幸せになれる世界を望むから。
本村ちゃん、
Are you insane?
やっぱ
Just ask her. I just want you
あなたの
to.
方が似合うわね。
Are you happy? I just got up to go to the bathroom after this, and I noticed that I never turned on the light. I usually have another light on behind me. I never turned it on this whole time, so I'm a little looking at it. It's a little yellowish, but it's whatever. It's whatever. We got through it. We can't change it now. I'm not even gonna turn it on now. It doesn't even matter. That was a very interesting. With all movies, not all movies actually, some of them I have a strong idea on certain ways to feel throughout it and at the end. This similar, I would argue, to a couple of the Evangelion movies. I'm not saying that they're like similar or the same like any sort of way, but I believe they're ones that I'll have certain feelings that I may have now, or viewpoints and things that I'm going to discuss when I'm here. I may have they may be altered, let's just say. You know, I may have like a stronger or a worse impression of the movie come the time that I have to go through and edit. I'm not going to do like I did with the Evangelion ones. I think, I don't remember which one. I did it with one or two of them, I think, or I took a break in between and then I came back and I like edited out the whole thing, and then I, after basically getting a second watch, talked about it. This one we're not gonna do that. I think, weirdly enough, despite the way that I was advised by some of you, I think I kind of get what's going on without really, to my own surprise, I would say too. So weird, which I don't know if that's a weird thing or not. It didn't know what was going on in the moment, was definitely shocked as it was happening, but I think most of it makes sense for the most part. And they put us in a really intriguing spot, more so for what the future holds. More so gets me angry knowing that it's 12 years since it came out, that the next movie's finally going to come out. So you made everybody wait that damn long for a really interesting potential plot line that we're going to go down with this like demon versus god kind of the plot line thing that we can essentially maybe play with at some point in the future, and things in which Homura has kind of like envisioned and actualized to kind of go down that route. I think could be really fun, but it makes me feel a little sort of way you have to go that long, because for many people, I don't know when the movie was confirmed, by the way. Maybe it was confirmed right away and it's been production for stupid long. I find that hard to believe. It probably was confirmed like years and years later. But it does seem as though the end of this had full intentions in not making this a stopping point, and instead having like a plan for what the future was going to end up holding. But throughout the film, they do a really weird job at mixing emotions, putting you in a state of confusion, of wondering why you're in a situation that you're in without them properly wanting to explain it, and just kind of wanting to let things unfold, which works sometimes and other times it doesn't, you know, can backfire. It's not the first movie that I've seen that is, you know, put you in a state that's not entirely familiar to where the audience like for them, for where it should be, like something feels slightly off at every kind of moment, and it just depends on the way that they decide to realistically approach it, and I think they did it in a strong way. The only negative that comes from that is the overall feelings of the way that things are kind of unfolding throughout the movie makes the like entire first half of it feel pretty weak, to me at least, right? And on reflection, and I think viewable as a whole, you can kind of look at the way that it was able to do what it did at the beginning allows for the ending to feel so much more grand and special. So it's like a necessity, but as like a whole experience as you're going throughout it, it like gradually gets better, which is a good thing. And I think most movies, you know, strive for a sort of thing like that. But it just like puts you in like a weird state where you go maybe like 50 minutes to an hour in, where you're not, at least me personally, not too like confident or like thrilled about the direction of kind of where we're going. I did find myself throughout that for the entire first half, I would argue, just wondering like, okay, I guess we're doing this. Okay, I guess we're doing this. Like there wasn't like any like real excitement or like energy or anything I felt like really on my part, which maybe it'll be interesting going back to the reaction and seeing if there's like it's very visible that maybe I like more so got awake as things started getting more and more interesting and they started developing, but it's always like an interesting thing, and it's one of the reasons that I'm not too big on films in general, is just the general idea of like the way that you have to progress and pace certain things. It leaves me kind of wondering where we're really headed with it, as opposed to being really immersed within the moment of what we're doing. And based on like the shrouded mystery that we end up having here, making the viewer want to know and relate it back to the actual main series and things, also leaves you in that sort of state where like I just feel like it's kind of hard to really enjoy what's happening in the moment, as opposed to trying to connect the dots of what's happening, which is a flaw on my own end too, I would say, which has happened in a few of the other series that we have even watched on the channel, where there are big like moments, maybe even impactful and emotional moments and stuff, and it's more so me just like yapping over it, or me just like spending too long trying to process and like figure out and dissect everything, as opposed to just like living within that emotion and in that moment and feeling it, which could be maybe I'm the sole person you know what I mean, that experienced this. But I do think the way that it was kind of like laid out and the way that we progressed this film does make that a lot harder to do. Not that I'm and it's not something that's a surprise if you've watched any of them. This is like a thing where people have commented and stuff about like feeling a certain way towards different moments, like emotions and things kind of flaring up throughout the actual main series and stuff too, where I didn't personally connect on that sort of level that made me feel that sort of way at all, ever really with like anything within the series. So it's one of those that like maybe those people found themselves to be like connecting to it in certain ways and really like immersed the entire way through, whereas like for me it took till like maybe the midway point to kind of start clicking and get into that. But everything past that point just goes up and up and up and gets really, really entertaining, from the entire fight with Homura and Mami to the entire like thing with Saika, and then having like these weird things and mixtures kind of within all the characters of like what they slightly know and what they don't really, and still not really revealing anything until the conversation with Kyubey and like everything. Like it's really really awesome stuff that I think just kept like progressing itself to then have like twists and turn, one after another, to then having like reveal of this to this person's actually like involved, actually everybody's involved, and now we're working as a team and things are working out properly, and then oh here we go, we have a big turn of events and everything works out well, and we came and we got Homura, and to the point that she decides to enact her own plans and allow for all that to happen. I think was like really good. There were different twists and everything that happened, especially from that midway point till the Homura moment, that I think was really, really cool. Especially that was like the biggest shock, I would say, within the entire thing, and maybe even the series itself up to this point. I didn't expect us to go as far as we did with the self-sacrifice, selflessness that we ended up getting out of Madoka in the main series, but the overall like switch up that we have, where she decides to like pull her and be her complete opposite here, and live and rewrite the like ways of the world and the cycle and everything, is hilarious to me. Like it's so good. It's actually super good. Because I just like, I knew something, I'll say this, I knew something had to happen, because you can't end the movie with us just removing her, and then where do you go from there? Like what's left for them to like come back and do something else? So they had to do something that potentially would set things up, but probably give you a resolution at the same time. And I just didn't have a clue as to what that actually would have potentially even been, like at all. So I think that's why they did a really strong job, I would say, because even like the overall plot and everything of this one, I had no idea the direction they were going, and they pulled something out. So I guess they didn't entirely have to go that way, but it is interesting to think about like why that potentially ended up coming about. Homura and her decision is really intriguing to me too. I think that's like the highlight. That's the one thing. We'll talk about like the entire movie as we go through, and I'll like go through like the different scenes and stuff. But I think like if I have to highlight one thing, and I'm probably only going to like really highlight like one thing, which will be this little discussion that we have here, the decision made by Homer is really, really interesting. The decision to be the opposite to Madoka, to rewrite, to go against the wishes of her, and play as this devil, play as this demon here, to be the opposite to her god, is really interesting. And I can't, she's crazy and insane, and I honestly don't probably agree with what she's doing, but it makes sense, right? I think we can at least come to that agreement, right? Like it makes sense, and it makes for a really interesting potential plot line to come up, to make that decision, to have something that also makes plenty of sense from the beginning of the series and doesn't, to me, feel like we're just throwing something in at random at a certain point here to like just extend it or do like a cash grab or something, like to keep making it shit. It actually feels really like solid to me for her reasoning, for her constant sacrifice and over time, years and years and years on end, probably, of looping and trying to save this person. Almost feels as though she has granted herself a right that they finally like broke through that she can possess this person in some sort of way, or at least like be around this person and get to see them live out that dream from that like initial promise and things that they kind of made, and not really accept the fact that she was just going to be this concept and really give her this opportunity instead. Like that makes plenty of sense to me. The going against the wishes of that person, not caring about that because you're creating something that allows this person to kind of live themselves out and still exist as something else. It makes perfect sense too, right? You do the ultimate act of I'm this god, I'm doing the ultimate selfless thing ever by creating this sacrifice and allowing, you know, constant energy and time and effort being put into purifying all of this stuff and allowing the world to constantly continue and not to allow people to really like fall through into despair and any of this other shit. But instead we we create somebody who's the complete opposite of that, who's not selfless. They're selfish entirely. They want someone, instead of wanting to be that savior, that being, that person for everybody, right? Wanting to be that figure. Fuck that. I got one person. I love this one person. I want to do everything for this one person. It's kind of like nuts. It just makes sense to me, you know? I still think she's wrong. Like I still think I actually wonder, I don't know now. I was going to say, I think I would have been really satisfied with an ending of we end the series as a whole there by allowing Homer to kind of go and like actually at this point come like full acceptance to it, because we didn't really see that within the main series of like actual acceptance towards the decision that Madoka ended up making. So we finally get like that full on acceptance, and she ends up going with her because she can kind of be by her side in a concept-esque kind of way, which would be cool. But outside of that, like, we didn't really get anything when it came to it. So allowing for us to like accept that and come to that conclusion, I guess, together would allow me to really, I think I would feel good about that. Maybe I wouldn't, but I think right now, at least when I think about it, I think I would feel good to end things there. It's a happy note at the end of the day, right? Because they get to be together in a sort of way. Well, it's not the exact way that either of them probably had envisioned. It's still kind of there. But it's sad too, because you still lose them and they're no longer a part of the world as like living beings, but they kind of are. It's like it's weird, but I don't know. I think it sounds pretty interesting and cool to me. But I don't know. Homebro was definitely fucking against that shit. She didn't want that shit. just really funny to me. I really love that conflict. The more that I think about it, the fact that she kind of went against everything that she wanted, and she did everything so selfish to be that complete opposite of her, regardless of what you're aware of. Like, she knows that this isn't what she would probably want and still decides to make that decision. It's awesome. I love that, because I feel like that happens a lot within a lot of different series. Is you like, it's the right thing to do to honor the wish of the other person, right? She made the sacrifice. It's the right thing to do to let her live that out and see that through. Fuck that. I want her. You know? Fuck that. Let me do what I want. Let me make my. I wouldn't accept that. That wasn't what I wanted, right? The fuck what she wanted. Let me get mine. Let me get what I want. You know, I kind of like that. I feel like not enough people do that. I feel like that's like a really strong antagonist thing. We don't get that enough within antagonists, you know? I just feel like that's really strong. It's something that's awesome to turn a character that you don't suspect or have those sort of feelings for the entire way through into likely an antagonist going into the future movie that you're going to have, and whatever remains of the series are actually there, right? I think that's fucking cool. I don't know. I think it's cool. All right, it's late as fuck. I don't want to really yap anymore. We're going to go through the movie and we're going to get going through this. Someday the final day will come and the lost cycle leaves us away. So we continue our battle. Dreamt that I can encounter that familiar smile once again. But it's not just an encounter, right? It's to be with that person. It's to see that person live themselves out. It's a constant thing. The dream thing's interesting, right? It's one of those typical first lines, like beginning at least, is also like really important into the things that are going to happen. And we get that with the world essentially that gets created right here. This shit was weird. I didn't know what was going on. Something I want to praise too is the overall production of the movie is extremely strong. The wackiness of like the different like sets and things that we have and the different like sceneries and stuff are really strong, and I think a lot stronger actually all the way throughout than the series ever kind of peaked at any moment really, which is fucking awesome. I mean, outside of the like Madoka being a god thing, but but that was like different than like the witches and like the way that they kind of came about. And I think that these are a lot stronger than we actually ended up getting in regards to like anything throughout the series. Plus, a lot of the animation and things were extremely fluid throughout. Utilization of a lot of new music and stuff too was pretty big old thumbs up. It's gonna suck for me. The editing's gonna fucking kill me because there's so many insert songs and things, so I'm gonna get fucking destroyed. Whatever. Well, we're gonna get it up the best we can, but I'm gonna get destroyed by it. But I think all of that stuff was just a lot more solid, which you'd expect, right? Movie budget and all. But I just feel like overall creativity with a lot of it too was just stronger than the actual main series found itself to be. So it's nice to see that likely with increased budget they were able just to fucking go a little bit more crazy and create this like ideal scenario for what they actually ended up wanting here. A bunch of different like random songs and things that actually occur, and let's run you back through the first episode. They give little glimpses towards her like hand and everything to let you know she's already become a magical girl. Conversations are similar but a little different at times too, while some of them being the exact same from the initial introduction that we kind of ended up gaining. And we just kind of continue this for a little bit. We get a whole opening sequence. I know the lyrics and all that stuff probably mean something. I'm not reading into it. I just don't want to, I'll be honest. But things are a little different because Kyoko's already here. We're already a magical girl. We already got Kyubey kind of around. And everybody continues their day. The teacher's fucking insane. He's just yelling about the most insane shit. Second coming of Christ. She's completely possessed here. And the Homura shows up. What the fuck is Homura doing here? Everybody immediately sees the shine that she got on her. Mommy, you already knew? How did you already know? All of them kind of playing along like they don't fucking get it. Feel like I've known you forever. Huh, weird, huh? We also have the introduction of the nightmares here. So we introduced the Wraiths, who we claim aren't really a threat that gets posed to us, which don't really get relevant throughout the entirety of this. So I guess they really just aren't a threat, probably. And then the nightmares also end up being a new thing that kind of get introduced here. Replacement for the witch, or at least assumed to be called that. Probably not a real thing would be my guess, but simply through the state that we kind of find ourselves in within like this fictional kind of area that Homer is creating. And then we still have the witches, which become relevant, especially throughout this, with what she actually is the entirety of it. Weird little sequence here, which is the only time that we get anything regarding her. I thought it would be a little bit relevant, and it just found itself out to not be at all. I mean, the relevance became her overall despair and like consumption and stuff of the negativity that's happening within her own relationship and everything to kind of flare up, which causes mommy and the others to have to take into action and kind of save and protect her again, as they say, not just for the first time. We meet Bebe for the first time, I believe, unless Bebe was around the main series and I just don't remember. I'm very indifferent towards it. I don't find the design or the voice or the cheese thing and all that stuff regarding her, I believe, to be very cute or entertaining or interesting or anything. I felt uncomfortable every time she was on screen. Maybe it's just a symbol or reminder or feeling towards something that Kyubey is. It also led me to believe that there could be like another thing or being that's kind of out there that kind of developed itself somehow along the way. In place of what Kyubey actually is as well. So I think I was just more so suspicious, and it didn't let me like sit there and think it was like goofy or anything, but I did just kind of find it annoying, I'll be honest. So didn't really love that. I thought she was really cute and funny and entertaining though when she actually became like a person, but it's just whatever the way of speaking and the movements and everything just didn't do anything for me when it was actually in this kind of form. So we go out of our way and we have some fun. The whole squad fucking meets up. They go insane with multiple minutes of just fucking transformations that are next level and really entertaining to actually look at. So pretty awesome, especially being able to give them for some of the characters who may have not had like that full shine for what we actually wanted with the transformations within the actual main series. So getting like a little bit of a different one, and then having the fucking holy quintet of like the actual like group name and stuff too, I think is really cute. And I like that. I like the teamwork aspect of being able to see the way that we work, similarly referencing what's going to actually come towards the back end with a bunch of them working together. And we're able to see different abilities and things that everybody is kind of capable of that ultimately leads us to a success. The cake song is weird. I don't know how to feel about it. I have no idea how to feel about it. And ultimately, we end up getting exactly what we want. Cleanse ourselves, cleanse, you know, everything that's going on with her temporarily, probably. Until we get to look on and know that we saved somebody at the end of the day. And we did our jobs a little bit successful. Back in class, and we're not seeing the faces. So she's immediately noticing something's really off and something's weird, and she's just feeling a little bit funny about it. So we have to talk to Kyoko because something isn't right at all. She starts questioning, asking a lot of things, asking what she knows, asking where she came from, trying to get down to the bottom of everything that's kind of going on. And we decide, let's take a full-on trip back to your city. Well, the problem is there's fucking nothing there. We just go through this constant loop, this area that's supposed to be things, and it's just kind of blurred out and there's nothing really there, and we just find ourselves constantly back. Why can't we escape, essentially? This is normally would lead us back, but instead we constantly go back to the same place over and over, which causes Homer to fucking freak out. Makes sense. I would too if I found myself in a position with something consistently looping time and time again, right? That's never a wonderful thing. This is where like the backgrounds and the things really start getting entertaining and interesting. Like what they do, I think is awesome, and it makes everything look pretty cool. Closed off illusion. Wait, there's a fucking thing that's like this, and it's the Witch's Labyrinth. Able to pick up on it. We later find out was a thing that was almost like expected or wanted to be happening, I guess. So that's pretty good. And she goes through her fucking archives of trying to figure out what exactly is happening by putting into question any and everybody about what is happening. Immediately turning it towards Veve about your being, because you're not in any of the previous worlds or any of these other things. Like, what the fuck even are you? That's where my initial assumption actually went, but that's a little too obvious now, isn't it? That's just how they get you every single time. Homer, is something wrong? Yeah, this fucking dude. I thought she was just gonna drop it out the window, but we gotta ask questions and we gotta figure things out. Actually having absolutely no fucking clue what's going on. And Mommy takes an issue with that. Which later to find out all this stuff has actually been decently coordinated. For a majority of what ended up happening. This is roughly when, as I was saying before, things started getting like really entertaining for me. So it took, what is it, about 45 to 50-ish minutes for all that stuff to really kick in. And this sequence is fucking great. The overall animation, the camera is extremely fluid and dynamic. Everything's just so fun. The backgrounds are fantastic. The creating a scenario and just being in this of constantly being at battle with each other while this is frozen. And it's so awesome. It was super badass and really fun to be able to see that between each other. Tried to save her, but she actually has one step ahead the entire time. Why the fuck you're trying to do this? What the fuck is a witch? What are you talking about? Oh, wait a minute. The wraiths. The wraiths are a thing. The fuck are the wraiths? And all of a sudden you want to transform and be extremely cute. I don't understand this, but and then here comes Sayaka. So everybody starts playing like their little role and dropping a little bit here. All of a sudden Sayaka remembers everything and knows a bunch of these other things too. Just pushing her, not telling her, but like pushing her in the direction of like starting to like slowly pick up on everything that's happening in the scenario that they find themselves to be in, so that she can ultimately like regain all of this, and then they can call out and be able to put this shit to rest and then be able to free herself. City just keep getting more and more consumed. Shit's a mess. And she's really, look at this. She gave up on everything just to save us. How the fuck did it end up and find ourselves in a situation like this? This place is literally just wasting the sacrifice you made for us. Yeah, maybe you should fucking listen to yourself then. For the actions that you end up doing at another point. What happened? I was looking for you. Madoka sells herself short a lot here too, about not wanting to be in this world. And I wonder if this is like the turning point, right? We I don't think so. Like, I think this was Homer's intention all the way through, because it makes sense to be. But I do wonder if her entire conversation of not wanting to be like separated or anything, or not believing that she could kind of live on like that, and isn't the type of person that maybe everybody else ends up seeing her as, makes Homer want to like actually allow her to live on so that she can kind of fulfill and live that sort of thing, as opposed to creating the sacrifice like she actually ended up doing, and then just no longer having that opportunity to like really like accept and love yourself or something. Because then it comes down to like a weird thing where it's like neither of them are happy enough with their own being, where one of them is willing to like constantly get rid of themselves for the sake of the other, while the other one is willing to get rid of themselves like entirely because they don't value them up to that level, for the benefits of everybody else, right? Which is exactly what the end consequence of this comes in with the god versus the whole demon situation. So it's I don't know, it's a really weird thing, but I do wonder if this is the moment that like made her like kind of like switch and like realize that maybe that's not actually what she like envisioned and wished for. Like, this face is kind of the thing behind it. These are your honest feelings, and I let a stupid mistake happen, me believing that this was like even putting ourselves in the situation, and I realize now exactly what's going on, which she later then follows through and says that that's what's going on. But it makes me wonder, is this the situation when you ended up realizing, like, how did I let you actually, like, how was I okay with you sacrificing and doing that without us like going through and finding another fucking opportunity to be able to allow that to happen? Still have things I need to do, talking, confirming with everybody, and finally getting down to the bottom of everything that you needed to realistically confirm how you yourself are the one who is the witch. You are the one who's been overall consumed by this, and you are the one who's creating the entire scenario here in the palms, in the paws, I get paws probably of QA this entire time. But also kind of within your friends, unknowing to them. Also, Cube being within it for them too, of him not really having a clear idea or knowing either. Large conversation about the way that everything kind of came about and all the beings and, you know, you being in the scenario that you're in. Really entertaining stuff overall. It's hilarious to me how like all the little things that she spilled to him about like how this could be, or what they used to be in the more efficient routes and stuff, and he utilized all of that to his advantage to create a similar scenario to like manifest that to actually happen. So regardless, he'll continuously keep kind of like actively doing this, which will then like, this is what adds like another layer towards like the weirdness of what Homer ends up doing, right? Because it takes a being of Cube who, if Homer is gone here, still is alive and has the opportunity to do this and manipulate others and constantly do things to his own advantage almost, right? And it strips that sort of thing fully away. Well, it doesn't strip it away, but like it strips the opportunity of having like somebody like Homer to like prevent that from happening away, and keeps giving the chance for him to do it, while maybe then being able to rewrite the sacrifice Madoka made. And then it's like, if her and Homer are no longer around, like what can you possibly do from that point on? But that's also under the assumption that the promise and just the belief that you have to put within Madoka to like fully go through on what she said about being able to let these people kind of live out their lives and like lay to rest in a certain way that they have to, isn't actually going to happen. And she'll be able to like come through and solve this, which she ended up doing realistically in this situation, which is probably one of the worst ones that we may have encountered. So I don't really know, but he don't be understanding all things, because emotions and stupid shit, right? Things that things that his people don't even have to deal with at any point. Really cool stuff going on within the visual end here. Fucking she loses it completely, and then Cube pushes for Madoka to remember that, and then here we go, put plan into action. By the way, ignore him. I told you a little something earlier, remember that? And everybody just gets to fucking work, does everything that they need to. They do what they can to kind of prevent this and allow for the success of this cycle to continue. The intended purpose is all that we are really after. Really awesome battle, really awesome kind of closure moment between Saika and Kyoko here, which I think is really strong. And overall, despite being constantly told not to do it, the success comes directly through Homura. who now can ascend into the heavens and give up, but will be with Madoka, at least in spirit, all the way through, and doesn't really fuck with that idea. So instead, fucking halves her here and just takes fucking part of her away. Refusal of this life to kind of continue, which is insane to me, and literally flips everything on its head. Puts her entire new script into play here in the way that she's gonna do this. I'll never let you go, selfish motherfucker. World is being rewritten. This is the second time I have seen this place. It should have vanished, by the way. Oh, no. I have this really strong emotion that's like nobody else can even comprehend because of the amount of times I've had to relive and do something directly for the purpose of somebody else. The only thing I can be is a demon. The only thing I can be is evil. And has to kind of take on that role to be the opposite of it. These shots are really fucking sick. They look so good. The coloring in them is so fucking awesome. And then we get to see her revamped world, which, like, it could be a really nice thing. Everybody's here. Everyone's alive. We get to kind of continue. I don't know, though. I don't know how to feel about all that. Different spooky ass things that are here, and then like the instant, like how much worse everything like keeps getting over and over as we as we consider this or continue this entire conversation. Sayaka's very fucking against it for sure, though. And then I love how we flip everything on its head from the beginning. You're the transfer student. You're the one that they swarm. You're the one who then has to be brought away and has to be shown around by somebody else. They also do a really strong job with the Homura facial expressions throughout this. When they like switch her up to like kind of give her a different sort of energy and attitude, I think is really excellent. It's something that I don't necessarily know if they've done a great job up to this point. I think like the faces of the characters is probably like the biggest weakness within all of this. So the actual like ability for them to change that up and give it something strong up to this point, especially within this movie, and Homura had a lot of like really good expressions, I would say, makes it really awesome. This is awesome with the semi-remembrance and then having to like calm down and like do it so that you don't like manifest and like bring back to life all of this stuff. Like it just reads to me like setting up like demon versus god type of like thing, battle or war or something that we're gonna have to go up towards, and it's gonna be like it's gonna be the opposite of what each of them want, right? The person that you like end up growing close to and caring for and doing this shit with since the beginning ends up being the one that you have to go against. A classic, right? But we're gonna end up having I think potentially see that a little bit going into the future. One day you might become my enemy too, but I do not care. Because I just want to be in a world where you're happy. But the problem is that she just wants to be in a world where everybody's happy, right? There's your conflict. Everybody else can live happy, but not fucking us. Then what was the end sequence? An end sequence looks to be, you know, you got Cube in the palm of your hands and you seem to be pretty fucking thrilled about the scenario that you're in. Overall, pretty fucking good. I mean, I'm going to have to think and reflect on some things and through the edit and everything to really think form a more solid and maybe potential final decision on way I feel, my final stance, I guess, on it. But overall, nothing really to complain on from my end. I think it does a really strong job at taking the story that I felt may have been back against the wall because you're introducing a weaker enemy that's not really interesting within the rates or anything up to that point. I mean, they could bring them back in some sort of light within this next movie, and then they could be like way different, right? Because everything's kind of rewritten and a little different now. But I thought that would be like kind of a dead end route and wouldn't be too entertaining. And I think they did a really good job at really being able to manage to make something and extend something on top of it, right? Being able to continue the series in a way that made sense, and then being able to add more layers with the twists and stuff within this one that then make whatever happens within the future really interesting to see what's going to go down. So I think that they do a really good job at like almost reinventing themselves to then add on like a new layer to the story that is necessary to like find that final closure and things within it. So pretty cool. This has been Madoka Magica Rebellion. This has been Madoka Magica the series. I hope you have all enjoyed. It took forever for me to get through them. We did this poll like 7 months ago, and I'm finally done. We did it in the middle of last year, and we started the new year off strong here, right? It's kind of crazy how long we've been doing this, but it's life. Things happen. We'll try and be a little bit better going forward. The poll for the next series that we're going to do after this was already posted and done, so I will now move my sights forward onto something else. Hopefully you join us for whatever the winner of all that is. Hopefully you stick around for something else on the channel. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Thank you very much, though, for the support and everything throughout these episodes. You guys love them a lot. Got lots of comments and things, which was always great, and I really do appreciate it. And I love to kind of read what people think and have to say about it. So hopefully I see you around for some of the other ones or something else within the future. If not, maybe if I'm still around, we'll be around for the next movie, you know, if I'm still around doing all this. So we'll have to see whenever that happens. If the movie actually comes out, they be delaying shit all the time too, so we don't we don't know what's gonna go down. But thank you once again. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you liked it, all, like and subscribe down to me. Feel free to check out the channel and the content of the series. I'll be back for something else. Hopefully I see you there. You guys have a great one.